It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Friday. Before the hurricane comes on Monday.
It's not coming, by the way.
It's coming.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, no, it's not. I took care of it.
It's coming with a whopping 22 miles per hour winds.
It's coming. It's just not coming here, but I do feel sorry for the Gulf Coast area because they're getting two storms next week.
Two storms. I feel sorry for everything in between those two states.
I know.
Because they're going to get walloped. And did you see that the water in the Gulf Coast, the water is 91 degrees.
Which means what?
Anything above 81 raises the level of a hurricane, say 1. You know what a 1 is, right? Up to 5, 6, 7. 81 is the temperature best for a hurricane to grow. Anything above that, they've never seen anything like this.
Wow.
91
All I can say
could
is
make
wow.
it a 4.
No.
I saw it this morning.
Really? Well, you know what we should do?
Pray.
Maybe not. Call Linda Summers. Did you see her house? She was struck by lightning?
Doesn't she live in a condo?
No.
She lives in a house?
She was in a house. But apparently her house was struck by lightning and she was the conduit pole and it went through her.
That's impossible.
Did you
She
see her
wouldn't be here.
post?
She wouldn't be here.
Well, I think she's got all this metal in her body, so maybe she was like a post, is all I know. Happy Friday. It is the strangest Friday, is all I can tell you right now. It's maybe this is the calm before the storm. I don't know, but literally it is calm in here. Everyone is at peace. Everyone is doing something productive. It is spectacular. Fuego is off without a hitch. Teddy Unscripted was unbelievable. Vinny is working on some new graphics. Mia is working with Teddy, getting ready for Casa Mia. That is all set up. We've got a great show lined up for you. And, of course, it's Friday, everyone. So no better way to kick off Friday with some Gubba Rum and Mia, Casa Mia joining us. We have Michelle G., a matchmaker, all the way coming to us from Puerto Rico.
Isn't there a
Amy
song?
Minty.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
Yes.
Shoot me in the foot and get me a divorce attorney.
That is in the world of Freddie. Give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. And we got off on time. I'm telling you, I think last night raised the bar is all I can tell you.
Well, I don't know who did the design on the set. Maybe it was Vinny that did it, but this looks spectacular. They moved you up. Did you guys do this on purpose?
No.
Pierre did that, actually.
Actually, I moved up from Jay Har.
You moved it up. But
Not
this
on
looks
purpose.
Perfect.
I did not move myself up
But
on
look how
purpose.
good that looks. You actually look like a person. As opposed to being a
We just got to change the logo on the TV. But yesterday we had Jay Harmon. He did his show here. And when I was cleaning last night, I just put the chair back up where it fit, and I didn't move anything around. So here I sit. Is all I can tell you.
You were talking. You were cleaning again. You clean too much.
I know, but I thank you for doing it all for me this morning. I thank you very much for taking that mop out. There's a bucket of water back there.
I haven't finished.
That's what
Now,
I figured.
I'm
Mia
gonna
said she
tell
would
you,
take care of it. But
ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. I told Dawn that I would mop the studio, which I did. I mopped the whole place.
yes, you did.
And I asked her not to take film or pictures. And she did.
That was after I took it.
No, they said, oh, look at Freddie mopping. How did they know I was mopping if you didn't take film or pictures or something?
I took a picture. And
Why would you do that?
Because people want to know what makes our place run. It just doesn't happen by itself. This place takes a lot of work to keep it going.
You know, there's a difference between, I put something on IGTV of the guy singing because I heard, I'm going to tell you, Slick can't sing for nothing, but I heard him singing. So I came out with the camera and then him and Vinny were sitting there. and no harm, no foul.
Why is there
would you
harm or
com-
foul if you mop? It means
Because
you
I don't
are
want people seeing me tomorrow.
you are being very
I'm
helpful
gonna be
to the
asked to mop at
situation.
home. Yes, Linda, I know. I'm gonna have to be like this at home. now.
Well, you tell me you clean your house all the time. You tell
No, I
me
don't.
you vacuum every week.
Nope,
Yes, you do.
I do not.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, now I'm gonna have to.
We'll get you a
I
special
got the
vacuum.
message.
Just saying that it's teamwork that helps here. And you tease me all the time about cleaning, but Freddie actually, he does all the big heavy lifting here. Because the mop weighs about what I do when it's wet.
It's funny.
That mop
She
weighs
just
what I
can't
do
lift
wet.
The mop. That's all it is.
It's pretty much wet, not so much. It's the size of me.
Now I was gonna ask you, do you mop your house?
No.
When there's a storm coming?
No. Mop my
Do
house.
you clean the house
Yes.
when there's a storm coming?
Yes. Why? I do not know.
This is a phenomenon. Most women, like birds, clean the house. The bird cleans the nest
It's nesting.
before a nest. Yeah, before a storm comes. Did you know that?
Here and there.
Have you ever seen your mom or anybody else? And she cleans it when a storm is coming.
She always cleans no matter what. Like, that's her extreme habit.
And also, when you bring in a new person to clean the house, what do they call that? 'Cause
Cleaning lady, a cleaning man, a cleaning
a
service.
cleaning somebody. I can't say cleaning lady because it's impolitically correct. All right. Do you ever notice that you go into high drive and clean the house for the person coming to clean the house?
My mom does it.
I
Why
have
do
to
you
tell
clean
you.
the house?
I used to before I worked. Now that I work full time, I never make my bed. I don't sweep my floors. I do the laundry so she can iron after I get all the laundry done. Other than that, I do nothing. I do run the dishwasher before I leave in the morning. Done. I know. It's gotten to the point where I don't have time. It is unimportant. My priorities have shifted. That's all I can tell you.
I gotta tell you, when I was growing up, my sister was responsible for the kitchen, the after kitchen.
The after
In
kitchen?
other words, when my mother used to cook,
Oh, the cleanup.
and my sister was responsible for cleaning the kitchen. And I never really understood what that meant, but I used to try to go in there and help her. And she used to throw me out. Get out the way, you're in my way, get out. And I remember on Popham Avenue, Mimi used to clean, and my mother came in and she used to say, this isn't clean good enough. There's still oil on the dishes or whatever, right? So my sister grew up criticizing me for how I cleaned the bathrooms. I tell you this story.
Yes?
Now I'm thinking about it, and now I know why.
Well, if you want to clean the bathroom at the end of the day today, Friday Toilet Patrol, I'm all in for that chore chart in the camp bunk. You can take that one too for me.
I don't understand
Why I
how,
clean the
how
bathroom?
you clean the bathroom. I never see, what do you clean it with?
Lysol bleach?
Or is that, you put it in there? Wait, don't you have like a scrubbing thing? And do you use a sponge? You don't use sponge.
Paper towels. I do not like sponges. I have a phobia against sponges.
But cleaning with a paper towel it's not kind
The
of.
bleach does all the work. You just
But
got to
a paper
spread it
towel on
around.
my hands? I don't
No,
want
you
that.
put on gloves.
Or you have gloves too?
Sure. You know, we got one toilet and we got 10 people is all I can tell you. It actually gets done a couple times a week in the studio. I just do not tell you about it because it would upset you. So yes, we do everything in here from cleaning toilets to mopping floors to production to 35 shows a week. And last night's productions from our 2020 show with Vinny and Val and Teddy was amazing at 5 o'clock, followed by our 7 o'clock show. We had Coast to Coast. We had The Reinvented Life. Pamela Chanel David, she hosted for Natalia Levy, which was Natalia's third show that she did with us yesterday. And then this woman goes and she's doing a retreat for 10 people in Orlando. She's cooking for 10 people, 9 meals, all inclusive, a whole comprehensive program, and then she'll be back
that,
to work with
Natalia?
us, Natalia. And then we had 2 Minute Warning with Benny Blades and former Miami Dolphin player. So it was a spectacular night. And you hit some milestones on media production.
Yes, it took 12 years to finally put the production out the way it should be done. And I know if you don't understand how this whole thing works, when you are working with a radio station, the production has to be done differently because you have to have the right sound. If the sound is not good enough, the radio station won't let you play. So what we did yesterday was, instead of having the radio station talk to us, we exclusively spoke to them. So you got to be pretty good to pull that off. And Teddy did a hell of a job of putting that off yesterday.
And I got to tell you, you don't even know this because this happened not on your watch. This happened on my watch the past 24 hours. Slick has been working very closely with me on BYOB, and this was a passionate project that I had of branding your own business, building your own brand, and bringing different entrepreneurs in to host and to interview other entrepreneurs. And BYOB, because it started on Friday, had the connotation to BYOB. I like to kind of play with words around, but it's build your own brand. And yesterday's show, we aired it today, and I said to the girls, don't ever stop dreaming and doing what you feel is right in your gut. And this show, the numbers for today's show, just coming off air, are unbelievable.
It's a great show, and people are writing in about it.
And they have already had over 40 comments on that show
Is that
today.
Chaka Khan look-alike?
Uh-huh.
You know what it is? The people that you're bringing on BYOB are spectacular. And no exception to today's show. You got to check it out.
Yep.
And she is amazing.
Brenda James, yes.
Brenda's is just an amazing, amazing piece that went on there. But people would, I was wondering, I'm getting all the comments.
I'm
Great
telling
show,
you.
Great information,
Yep.
great. But I think you're right. She gave a lot of information.
She gave a lot of information. I just said to Mia and to Teddy, never give up on your dreams. And if you feel it's right in your gut, and then I said, even if Freddie says it's not, be true to yourself and be true to your vision, and you go with it. And that is what BYOB has brought in the turn of a hat. It's been only, 2 months we've had this show going. And I love that we create, now we create platforms, not just shows. And we can bring in guest hosts to try out the platform and
When
bring
did
some of their
Freddie
ideas
say
forward.
No, it isn't?
You didn't. I just said if Freddie says no, still stick to your dreams.
When did I say, when have I ever said don't stick to your dreams?
You've never said that. Sometimes you like to change my ideas and go, no, we're going to do it this way, and we did it this way. It was amazing.
No, that's not the way this plays. you want to climb Mount Everest and put a parachute open on your back. And that's why I say, well, we can't.
What do you mean?
Because there are certain things you want, you can't capture it that way.
But we do.
It doesn't create. We do.
I know. I push the envelope, don't I?
Well,
But
no,
when
you
that
make it-
parachute opens beautifully, like it has the past 24 hours, you just look back and you say, you know what? God is good, because when it happens the way you envision it, just like your shows did last night, our shows did last night, you think, wow, this is spectacular.
Yeah, but last night's show happened because Freddie personally had a disaster on Monday night. And I spoke to Gio, and he says to me, why don't you go back the way we used to do it on 18th Street? And I said to him, it didn't work. Yes, it didn't. No, it didn't. So I abandoned that path. So last night we went back to it because everything is in play. But I never tell you no. We don't ever say that.
You never say no. You just say, let's do it a little bit of this way.
I do it so that it has a chance of being successful. That's all.
And I just take a leap of faith. I do think it through.
BYOB, I think, is a great platform. I think I give you all the kudos for putting that together. But the platform is the platform. It's the people you're putting on it.
It's
Lady
lovely.
Ann and Faith and Brenda and all these people, all these authors and things you got cooking.
And Brenda's going to be doing editor's desk today, so that's another great show coming out at 2:30 this afternoon.
I mean, it's just marvelous to watch people tell their untold stories.
Isn't it? I love it. I love watching everyone step into their power, be empowered, share their information, and then bring somebody in and to pay it forward. And that is exactly these platforms that we get to create. It's about continuing to pay it forward. And I promised you that 5 years ago when I started working with you. And you said to me, what do you want to do? Make this your own. And from that moment on, I said, I will always pay it forward. And that is the gift that we've gotten to do during all of these change of times, is we get to bring in guest hosts and give them the opportunity, and then they bring somebody, and then they bring somebody, and that is how a network grows. So I'm so proud
You
of
mean
our
that
crew.
happened, like it keeps telling me no. And then I say no for 4 years?
Yeah, well, your communication is
You
not
see,
so
we don't-
very good.
Oh, my fault, I see.
Is all I can tell you. But you talk how a network grows. It is all about paying it forward. And actually, today, later in the show, we're going back to making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and some more jelly sandwiches. Maybe you'll drop them off this weekend, or I can go back again on Sunday for those that are in need.
I'll leave it there today.
No, you can't
No,
do that.
Give it to the birds.
But so Pierre's out. He's picking up more supplies to make some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or jelly or peanut butter, whatever it is they choose to make, because on Sunday you can drop off sandwiches of any kind. You just choose and make and individually bag them. You can put a little note, a little thank you, a little smiley face, or nothing, and just bring it over to St. Gregory's Episcopal Church right near Meisner Park. It's just on the back side of Meisner at 12 o'clock. If you go before, you're just going to have to wait a little bit. You open your trunk. They take out your sandwiches. They give them to those in need. very kind, and you go on your way. So it's an easy drop off, and you know what? It helps those that are in need in our community, kids, parents, the homeless. We've got a great community, and that is what we're doing in Boca Raton, and it just takes a little bit of giving back.
And it's all there. Now, did you see the guest that Teddy Unscripted had on today?
A little bit. I know you were running the board, but I was doing a couple other things, talking to me and some things.
Spectacular young lady that was on there. Great story, and I would like to do some business with her. I told Teddy to get on that.
Keisha?
Yeah, but what a spectacular show that was. Check it out, Teddy Unscripted on her Facebook page is on there, and I think she also puts it on her YouTube page. There's a few things that we're going to start doing with YouTube as well. We're going to start linking up to YouTube pages direct because I want to take the shows and put it on in different platforms. I know that we're going to be doing something with Instagram. We're going to go IGTV. We're going to go all sorts of gadgets. I see all sorts of little things around the place that we're going to.
Some fun videos. Vinny's making some more pieces, and Vinny does not have a hat on. He's got his shoes on. His shoes are tied. He's ready to rock and roll.
You know why, right?
Why?
Because Vinny is going to be the MC of our first segment today.
Yes, and when Michelle G comes in, you guys just let us know.
Vinny's going. Vinny's going to be, well, perhaps is a good word.
Maybe.
Perhaps and maybe is all I can say.
He would be good at it. It's just like anything else, you know. When it's new, you get a little nervous. Like if Fuego wanted me to do a segment with them in Spanish, but my Spanish isn't very good. So
Sure it is.
Nah, I Spanglish it.
Your Spanglish is so very good, is all I can tell you.
And
No?
then they talking, I don't understand what they're saying because they have that South American accent.
I got to tell you, when they come into the studio and they ask me if I speak Spanish, and I'm thinking, Freddie,
Yeah,
come
what
help me out
happened?
here. I don't. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I'm hoping our guest is joining us on the line. We've got Michelle G joining us. She is a matchmaker. We've got Steve Gubb joining us from Gubba Rum. Casamia in the house. We're going to see what Mia's got cooking. I think she's got a new segment. What are we calling it? What, wet your whistle?
Oh, you know, when we come back.
Can you
we'll
whistle? Vinny, can you whistle? There you go. What, wet your whistle? How about that?
When we come back, we'll
How
talk
my brain
about,
works is so scary.
We'll talk about Mia's segment because we wanted to create a new drink. We're going to let you know what that's all about.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. What wet your whistle drink? Or your branded
Wet.
drink?
Wet.
I know you like everything wet.
I like. Is somebody on? No, not yet. What do you want to call Mia's new segment with the drink that is part of the establishment? The established drink? Mia's tonic is what I was calling it. Because I'm going to tell you something. She makes me.
I said, your eyes are unbelievable.
I know, she lit up the
Right?
set. I was a little scared, like, who the hell is that?
I know. Are you taking us to commercial break?
No, I was going to say we'll come back as soon as I'm
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. 888-994-4995. Stay tuned. Studio A, and we'll be right back.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial Providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial Providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
one of South Florida's best-kept secrets. Located in the heart of Boca Raton, the gallery features a diverse catalog of sculptures and paintings by world-renowned artists. But that's not all. All of the art is showcased in a live studio setting, home to South Florida's very own Brooklyn Cafe show, starring Dawn and Freddie S. And to top it all off, our collection includes signed memorabilia from some of the world's most iconic names in sports and entertainment history. So come on over, enjoy a cup of coffee, and experience the magic of the gallery at the theater. Located at 2400 Northwest Boca Raton Boulevard in Suite 13. Or give us a call at 888-994-4995.
I look very snazzy right now. What do I have to say, guys?
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I guess we're back.
And we're back. We're back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show on a fabulous Friday. We're kicking off a little bit of dating, matchmaker. We've got Michelle G., matchmaker extraordinaire, talking dating fatigue. Ever thought of dating fatigue?
What is dating fatigue?
We're going to find out.
I'm tired of dating?
You're tired of dating?
Is that what No, I'm asking.
Or you can't find the right date because there's no place to go.
It's better not to date.
Why?
Because you can't find the right one.
Let's bring Michelle over. Let's hopefully, she's coming to us all the way from Puerto Rico, so see how this connection is. So bear with us. There she is.
Hi.
How are you doing? You look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Freddie is so excited that you're joining us because anytime you say Puerto Rico, he's like, bam.
Well, I'll tell you what, Freddie, it's beautiful here. It's hot as can be.
¿De qué parte?
Fajardo.
Ah, Fajardo. Is the Conquistador Hotel open or no good or closed?
It's partially open. It still hasn't fully been up and running since Hurricane Maria.
Yes.
Really?
Since Hurricane Maria. And are they fixing to bring it back?
There's kind of rumors that they might do something different with it. I'm not really sure, but I do know that partially it's open. Some of these things are not really disclosed to the whole community, so.
The most beautiful, beautiful place on the planet for me is that hotel.
Really?
Yes, because 10 years ago, I did the first live stream from that hotel to a radio station here in Florida. And it worked. And it was the first time that the encoder was used. It was the first time what you're looking at now developed that. And the hotel managers, all the Italians came down, the doctors were there, all of them were there. My mother and father was with me, Gia was with me, Linda was with me, and we put on a show. And I was so proud of the moment. But what a place Fajardo is. It is the most beautiful place you've ever seen.
Really?
Oh my goodness gracious. That hotel is beautiful. And then you got Luquillo Beach.
Yes, and the kioscos where it's all the little different restaurants, and they've really done it up since Hurricane Maria. You can get all kinds of local food as well as some other fusion type of food right on the beach, which is fantastic.
Beautiful place. And you got El Yunque.
El Yunque, as a matter of fact, my view, I see the top of the Yunque when there's not a big cloud over it or it's not raining.
I'm jealous. I gotta tell you, as a matchmaker, if you were to have those ingredients, any couple that wants to go and rekindle or get married, you're not gonna leave the island without getting married, or those pieces that she just mentioned. And I'm not even talking about San Juan yet. I'm leaving that for the dessert.
Yes, San Juan is beautiful, but I gotta say, I love Fajardo too. It is literally some of the best beaches. It's great for ecotourism. And what's really great about Fajardo is that it has a history of like a lot of seafood, really fresh seafood. So they have little spots everywhere that you can have great, delicious seafood that just got caught.
Fajardo, Luquillo. Now, did you go to school there?
No, so the reason that I'm actually here is my husband is actually born and raised here in Fajardo. And him and I, we met in the Marine Corps, and he retired. I kind of left the Marine Corps after 13 years. We met, and he's decided to come back and run for mayor of his town. He started working in the community 2 years ago as a community leader, really getting to know, after being gone for 18 years, really kind of reintegrating himself with the community. So that's the reason that we're here.
It's interesting you say that because I went to San Antonio de Abad in Humacao. I went to school. I graduated from there and I came to New York, NYU to graduate. But I got to pitch baseball and play football all throughout the island. And at the time, you had the naval base.
Yes, in Ceiba.
My brother, may he rest in peace. Remember the incident where they were shooting at the Navy? He was on the ship when that happened, and they had to close him off. We went to play football that weekend, and we got our butts beat. I tell you, but we played football. I got to pitch against the Naval Academy. I got to play against Antilles. I got to play against all the schools. And I'm going to tell you, man, we used to love going on road trips because the island is just beautiful. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Come back.
I got property out there. My parents both passed away, and I got properties. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with them today. Now, I got to admit, your husband is a brave man to get into politics right now in Puerto Rico.
I will agree with you. And a lot of people say that he's brave. Some people say that he's crazy. But with everything that's been happening post the hurricane, Puerto Rico is really, it needs a change, and while we can't run for governor at this time, it's not the right time. I will say that we can start one town at a time. A lot of the people here want change. And we feel really confident that we'll be able to win. And it'll be the first time in history of Fajardo that independent candidate would win because he's not party affiliated.
And there you go. And we talked about
That's exactly what we've been talking about, that there has been a change and a shift. We didn't even bring Michelle G on to talk about this, but how could we not after I knew your background of what it is? The Independent Party now is a tremendous, tremendous group that is nonpartisan. They have their own opinions, and our millennials, our crew that works with us, they're all independent. Yeah. And this is a toss-up because you don't know which way they're going to go.
Well, it's amazing that he's getting involved at this time in politics. Everybody knows what happened with the governorship in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
That's what, when you add stupid from a glass into another glass and there's nothing but stupid in there, you get stupid results. And there is
right.
Among the island. Puerto Rico, when I was there in 76, all the politics was so screwed up. Everything changed. The independents were out of control. Then they had the Republican Democratic Party. It was just all over the place. It's such a beautiful island. If they just did what they do best, the tourism there is fantastic. My uncle is Fufi Santori from Ponce, who was the coach of the Puerto Rican basketball team that beat the USA in the Olympics. That's my uncle.
Wow.
And there is so much history that we have. So much history that I have in Fajardo. So many stories. I mean, we can talk about this. And we'll run out of time.
I see that.
But I love it. I love the island.
I'm going to sit back and just listen.
I love the people. I got to rent one of the houses that we just repaired to Mark Anthony when he was married to J-Lo at the time. And he says, don't tell nobody. The island just is magical. It's unlike anything or anywhere.
It is. It truly is. And, I know we didn't come to talk about politics, but I will say something, Dawn. Politics is a hot topic, especially in dating for this election year. We can't get away from it. I can't get away from it as a matchmaker, to be honest.
I got to tell you, that is a beautiful segue.
That is.
That
is
was
the best.
absolutely.
That is the best.
Bam! Be on TV segue. That was fantastic.
That is really good. That is Can you imagine a Democrat, a Republican, or independent, and you're gonna try to make a couple out of that? Wow, that could be fun.
Talk about dating fatigue.
That could be fun. Okay, tell me about dating fatigue. What is dating fatigue?
So to put it in, I'm not going to use the scientific explanation. I'm just going to put it in really pragmatic terms. It's basically when you're really exhausted and you feel hopeless and you start becoming cynical and pessimistic about love, about your dating life. That's when you notice that you're starting to have some dating fatigue. You're on an online dating site and all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm done with this. You weren't as enthusiastic about it as you were in the beginning. So not only is it just that you feel exhausted, but your actions also support that. Maybe you stop answering messages, you stop wanting to go out, or the famous line that I hear, I'm so done with dating, I'm taking a break from it.
Okay, I'm taking a break. I'm uninstalling my app, and then a day later you reinstall your app, and then they find another app. And how do people meet? You are an international matchmaker. You're an author. You're a relationship coach. Right now, I think relationships need a whole lot of coaching.
Absolutely. During this time of COVID, I will say that we're not individuals who want to be stuck with our partner all the time. And I use the word stuck, but I use that in a very loving way, because what ends up happening is that you really got to deal and face the facts, right? You kind of are in each other's space. And during this time of COVID, that has become something that people have realized so much about, like, wow, we're so different. We've grown apart, especially if there's been kids or other things that have taken up that space between a couple. So definitely divorce rates are up like nobody's business.
And how do you help people overcome this dating fatigue? If we don't do apps, what type of programs do you offer? I know you up-level it, upscale, meeting your potential next true. It's not just dating. This is about your long-term commitment of a partner.
That's right. That's right. We honestly, one of the things that I believe is love is your birthright. It's something that we all can have. I believe that anyone in the world can have love. I mean, they have shows about people who have Down syndrome and have been able to have a healthy relationship and find a person that they love. So I truly believe in that. And so the way that we help people is really going beyond just the superficial matching of what is it that makes them compatible? What are your hobbies? We really take a scientific approach, which we call our love psychology. We want to be able to understand how it is that not only you see the world, but also how your environment has affected you. So my background is in social psychology, and so it's kind of that nature versus nurture discussion. I really like to understand both aspects. How is it that your family and where you grew up affects your views on relationships, and then vice versa.
Young, old, male, female, different perspectives, different uptakes. Growing up with two parents in the house, growing up with one parent in the house, growing up with a Latina mother as opposed to a Jewish mother, growing up with a family from New York City as opposed to Florida, all different aspects that sort of make the individual. And then when they meet somebody else, do they relive their past through somebody else, or do they change up as they're going along?
Part of it is really, where is that person on their own personal growth journey, to be honest? Sometimes we meet people that are different versions of our parents, our mom, our dad, our aunt, our uncle, depending who raised us. And we don't realize it, but we end up dating that person and become triggered. And I think it's a matter of, if you are aware as an individual, which is something we focus on with our matchmaking programs, really understanding, are you aware of your blind spots? Are you aware of your dating patterns? What are the things that you're trying to avoid? But because you're so in that oxytocin, in that cocktail mix of love, like the butterflies that we feel in the beginning, right? Because you're there, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm going to overlook that. So I think it really is a matter of personal responsibility. Where are you in your journey? And are you coachable enough to be open to seeing that maybe you're repeating the same patterns as you have before?
Wow, did you hear that?
Which
I'm
part?
going to overlook that.
Overlook it, or I'm going to change him.
No, forget about that.
I'm going to change him.
Ay.
He's just like my dad, the good and the bad, but I'm
no,
going to change
I
the
think that
bad.
the overlooked part has gotten bigger now with COVID. Because, okay, I'm going to put this aside. And then when it gets on your last nerve, forget about
if they're slurping their food, or there's crumbs on the floor, or the dishes are piling up. My dad did that. And then you go, can I overlook it? You can when you go to work. But when no one's working anymore, maybe not so much.
Is it better not to have any expectation?
I will say that I don't think it's realistic to ask anyone to not have any expectations at all. We're humans. We're just naturally going to have expectations. I think what's more important in the question to ask is, what is our expectation? What are your expectations in dating? I just had a call with a client earlier today who, she is a fantastic woman, professional athlete. I won't go into what field. She lives in South Florida, and she wants someone who is really an unrealistic version. She wants a man who's an alpha man, but also is in touch with his feelings and can do all these different things. And for him to be a romantic, but for him to also, know when it's time to put her in her place. And it's kind of like, is that what you really want? Or are you just wanting what you think and other people have said to you is what's right for you?
My question is, does that even really exist? I'm thinking
Whoa,
we
whoa,
can
whoa,
draw
whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa, wait a minute. Wait, of course it exists.
You think that exists in one human
Every
being?
guy in this room, everybody in this building, every man is that way. What are you
Really?
talking about? Absolutely. We just
I'm
hide
going to
it
have to
well.
disagree with you.
We hide it well.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you something. You know what is the hardest thing on this planet to date? A Latina
Do
woman.
not say it.
A
I knew he was
Latina
going to say that.
woman. I'm going to tell you, there ain't nothing like it. I've seen Italians and everything else. A Latina woman is a different person every day. It's like you wake up to that.
More than just a woman in general?
Oh my God. More than just a woman. That's in the rearview mirror.
Really?
It's the kind of woman.
It's the passion.
First of all, they have temperament. You ever seen an angry Latina? And I
Get out of
love
the way.
now they're educated. They're getting smarter. They're getting brilliant. Now they can chop you up. You don't even know it.
Well, my future daughter-in-law, I think, well, one day she will be.
I light a candle for your son every day.
Listen, we're not that bad. He's being a
Not
little bit
bad.
exact.
It's not a bad thing.
I know. Ashley is amazing.
Men love challenges. And if a woman can place a challenge, is great. If a woman, like she wants the perfect man. What man don't want the perfect woman?
Where
Not
do you
to-
find, though? Where do singles go to find dating, love, a sustainable relationship?
Oh, this is good. Yes.
Where can they go?
So here's the deal. No matter, you can ask this question to every matchmaker, every date coach. There's only 5 opportunities to meet someone. Number 1, it's going to either happen through work. Number 2, it's going to happen in a social setting, environment, or maybe an association, i.e. networking. Number 3 is going to happen either in an online dating app. Number 4 is going to be through a matchmaker. And last but not least, you could meet someone through a really good friend of yours. There's no other way to skin the cat.
Do you see the trends have changed now? That people aren't physically going to work. They're not physically going to networking events, safely anyway. So now we're down to matchmaker through a friend on an online dating app. And the online dating apps, you don't trust this person. You don't know who they've been exposed to or where they are. What do? You go to a dinner with a mask? You sit outside 6 feet away? And then what do you do? So I think now we're down to a matchmaker and a friend. These are kind of what I'm thinking lately.
I would agree with you. Look, I'm a fan of online dating because I feel that it's a vehicle. Okay. Part of the thing that makes us exhausted about it and get that dating fatigue is that when we think about social media and the behaviors and the actions that we're doing, we're replicating that to actually search for a match. So of course you're going to become exhausted by it. In terms of like through a friend, meeting someone through a friend, well, not a lot of people are really gathering together, and it would be kind of weird to give my friend's phone number and you've never met them in person. Plus, they've never been actually background checked. We're a matchmaker. My job is to not only find what you're looking for, but it's also to manage your expectations. And part of our process, we really get into really the 7 key life values that make a relationship last for the long term. That's what science tells us is really important for a relationship to thrive.
You know, this is fascinating.
I know.
Now let me ask you. You ever met a guy? I'm not gonna say a girl because I'm not a girl. Ever met a guy and say, "This guy's a mess, man. Listen, you want a relationship? You better go see a shrink first because right now you can't get out the front door." Have you ever met a guy that you can't match because it's so unrealistic? And then what do you tell him?
So I have had that experience, which is why our consultation process, we spend at least 30 to 45 minutes with the person to really kind of ask them deep questions. We want to know what the relationship like is with their mom, with their dad. And I have had it happen. And very lovingly, what I say to them, if it's outside of my scope of capabilities, I will refer them to someone in my network who has maybe they are a therapist, maybe they have some other things that they need, an addiction possibly. I may refer them to an addiction specialist, but I will definitely not take them on as a client. I don't want to set myself up for failure, and I also don't want to give a bad reputation to the rest of us. There's a small community of matchmakers, so it's really important that we do, this is matters of the heart, that we do the right thing by the client. And it's okay, listen, when someone's a no for me, I believe that God is going to bring 2 or 3 more other people that are a yes.
Interesting.
What is the #1 secret to dating in a post-COVID world? Can you imagine? Dating now?
Yes. So I'm going to say, Dawn, that's a great question. You talked earlier about, do we go on a date with a mask and social distance?
Right.
The #1 thing that anyone who is getting ready to date or is dating is to really sharpen up their skills with body language. Because now that we're just covered from here down, people think that you really can't read body language. Body language is more important now than ever because you can tell so much by the expressions at the top portion where your eyes are. You can tell if a person is smiling. You can tell if a person is shocked. You can tell if they're surprised. You can tell if they're disgusted, right? You can also see their body movements. Anytime you're in front of someone, if you're wondering if they like you, are they leaning into you? Are they kind of, putting their ear towards you because they want to hear more?
We talked this morning about this. Do you see women touching their hair or the
Right.
head flip, right? The eye, the flirt, the laugh. It's a whole body language
Michelle,
thing.
a guy should smell good. Smell.
Absolutely. Must.
Smell is the numero
If
uno.
guys smell bad, it's like, take a shower, gotta go.
And not even bad. Let's say he doesn't wear
Like he's just
cologne,
neutral?
nothing. Neutral. You should smell good.
That's your thing, I know.
Oh my God, that's my thing because you should smell. You shouldn't smell like a toilet. Nobody wants to date a toilet.
You're absolutely right. I will say for guys, for the ladies who are like, how do I know if a guy's into me? Look at his feet. Are his feet inward or are they out?
Did she really just say that? No.
You are my idol. I am going to have a statue built in your honor.
Do you know that Monday was I Love My Feet Day?
No, I did not.
Monday was National I Love My Feet Day. Yep. And we were going to do a whole thing for you because Freddie has like a foot thing.
No, it ain't a foot thing. Michelle, it's not a foot thing. I think that if you take care of the furthest thing from your body, that the rest of you is pretty good. So I tell the guys, the first thing you should look at is their feet. You see?
Yes. I agree. And actually, my mom taught me that. She said, you always want to have your hands and your feet done because a man will look at that and then he'll know how you'll take care of the rest of your body.
That's right. And she's 100% right. And the rest of it makes no difference.
Oh my gosh, Michelle, this is amazing. How do people find you and hire you for matchmaking and relationship advice?
Absolutely. You can reach me at michelleg.com/contact. I'm a traditional old school kind of gal. So a phone call never, is the wrong way to reach me. 1-877-628-8723. And I'm on all social media handles at Love by Michelle G.
You gotta love it.
I would like to get Michelle's husband involved with Fuego so we could talk political a
Both
little
of
bit.
them, yeah.
And we can have the two of you guys. I would love to see you with your husband because I'm gonna tell you something. You ain't easy. You a wife, I get it, but I gotta see what this man has been through because you know everything.
Well, she was in the military also. So.
Forget about it. She's like the whole package, and I want to see how he can deal with all of that.
He'll be very sweet, and I'm telling you, he was an F-18 pilot, so he knows how to handle a fighter jet. So he's good at handling.
If he can handle a fighter jet, he can handle a Latina woman. I don't know. Yeah, you don't think?
I tell you, you got a great personality. I can see people coming out.
She's awesome.
And being comfortable with you. You know, a lot of the younger crowds now, a lot of insecurities are going on right now. And it's okay to be okay, and the whole 9 yards that you do. I applaud that you do it. I have family in Fajardo, so get me his information. I make sure they vote for him. And we'll go in that direction. When we go to Puerto Rico, maybe we'll meet in Luquillo and have some dinner.
That would be fantastic.
Michelle, you're awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to set it up, Fuego. We'll do another, maybe we do like a matchmaking show or something. So have some fun, right? We're still in summer.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
You're the
Stay
best.
safe, Michelle.
That's a great segment.
Bye-bye.
That's great.
I'm hoping we've got Steve on the line. We'll bring Mia out to do Casa Mia. Amy Minty is on her way over. Brenda Warren is joining us. We got a whole lot to do in a little bit of time.
Well, nice way to start out. Viernes Social.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more with this segment brought to you by Gubba Rum. Stay tuned, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we will be right back.
Healing Moments Wellness Boutique specializes in integrating scientific and ancient therapies to relieve physical, emotional, and psychological distress. Through the power of touch, coaching, and meditation, clients experience pain relief, relaxation, healing, and detoxification. Contact Healing Moments Wellness Boutique at 561-931-2187 and experience Boca Raton's Healing Haven. Enjoy the benefits of an individualized treatment plan to help find your feelings of peace, complete balance, and wellness. Call Healing Moments today, 561-931-2187, and be rejuvenated.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Introducing Black Tie Liquors, your one-stop shop for wine and spirit needs. Whether you're looking for an ice-cold pack of summer brews or just to grab your favorite bottle of scotch whiskey, Black Tie Liquors has you covered. Come choose from a wide selection of beers, wines, spirits, or liqueurs, or you're in the mood, feel free to grab one of our fresh cigars. Stop by Black Tie Liquors today, located on 5970 South Jog Road, Lake Worth, Florida, or give them a call at 561-968-0988.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Plates? Just put a plate,
And
a
we're back.
tablecloth or something out. Back in the back.
We're back.
Sorry, we're getting ready
Making
for
sandwiches
sandwiches.
right
Peanut butter and jelly and rum. Sounds good to me.
Peanut butter rum.
And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Slick, I think, is going to hang out in bar while Mia is doing some stuff, getting ready for school and setting up a bar and make some sandwiches. So we got you covered, kiddo.
You give me a phone number. I'll make a phone call right now.
We take care of it for you.
You give me the number.
Because tomorrow is International Hug Your Angel Day. So right here, I can just tell you.
And if we got to go over to that place, I'll go in my car right now and take care of that business. Don't you worry about it. That's
Don't
ridiculous.
you worry about a thing. We got you covered. We're going to have Slicksta on the bar. Mia, maybe you'll help out. We got Teddy. I hope Steve Gubb has reconnected. I think we lost him a little bit.
Steve, are you reconnected, Steve? Because you're like traveling.
He's not yet. Is Brenda on? All right. So they're going to be making some more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and see. I kind of like the idea of what wets your whistle as a drink concept.
What is it with you and this whistle thing?
Can you eat peanut butter?
No.
Actually, it's a saltines contest. How many saltines can you put in your mouth and whistle?
The whole package.
The whole package?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, me and Steve, we did that in the old days. Remember, Steve, we had the saltines that we used to whistle?
Always.
Always.
Steve, can you whistle? Wow, I can't whistle.
You can't whistle?
How can you not whistle?
That's because you ain't a guy.
And nothing comes out, just air. Slick, can you whistle? Wow.
You know, stop dropping your phone. You're scaring the hell out of me.
You guys can help me. Can you whistle? No, actually. It's a guy thing, I guess. Is that like part of the genetic code? If you've got that chromosome, you can whistle?
Can I snap?
Did you say code?
Genetic makeup. Can you snap, he wants to know?
Who wants to know?
Vinny, why is that a genetic thing with snapping?
Because when you have arthritis, you can't
I feel like
it.
whistle while you work. I don't know. Slick is running bar today for a little bit, and me's going to step in and help him out. What are we making, Slick?
No, Slick special.
All right, so there's a whole Slick special going on here, Steve.
Slick is the man.
He never has a mic. Mia,
Slick,
thank you very
the
much.
Slick special.
The Slick
And it's
special.
gonna
What
be-
is that today?
The question
And
is,
it's gonna
is your mic
be-
on?
Yeah, turn your mic on.
The mic is on, and it's gonna be with the coconut because I like the coconut more than the vanilla. No offense on the vanilla, they're both smooth, but I like the coconut.
None taken. None taken.
I'm going to tell you, Gubba is so smooth that you could put one ice cube in a glass, and you're done. Anything else you add is because you are spectacular.
Mia,
I
can
love
you
that.
point
Thank you,
the
Freddie.
camera up a little bit. Slick's a little tall there. Slick, how tall are you?
Like 7'5".
You're 7'5"?
I'm like 7'5", guys.
All right, so
Just to let you know.
Steve, just because Mia makes it look easy to make drinks and hold a mic at the same time, you realize it's not so easy. You can't talk, mix a drink, set your bar, have a seat, and hold your mic all at the same time. Is it the guy-girl thing? Who makes a better bartender, men or women?
You know what?
Equal.
You know what?
Equal.
I'm sorry.
You leaving?
You know what? I'm gonna show you who makes a better bartender. You know what? I'm gonna take this off. I'm done with this nonsense.
Wow.
Let's go, baby. You on that side, I'm on this side.
Okay,
It
got
take two of us.
I got you.
It take two of us. Now you hold it.
You hold it? Okay.
I'm gonna tell you something. You know what the secret is to being a bartender? It's about class. That's right, the pizzazz. You gotta hold the bottle in your hand. And you gotta say, if you want some happiness,
Yes.
I have it in the bottle.
You have to get government.
That's right. You got to hold on to this bad boy. Now, I don't have Mia's look. I don't have her hair. I may not have the style, but I know how to pour. You know what I'm saying? And all you got to do is you got to do.
Yes, you're right about that.
So we're going to do what we wanted to do today is a special. We want to have, or for everybody that, you hold that. For everybody that has a restaurant, a business, whatever you got, I'm going to make a drink in your name. Watch the camera. You
Oh
don't
my
blank this
gosh,
out.
I'm a little scared.
In your name, in your business. So if you have personality in your business, where you going? Get over here.
No, the ice is right here.
Don't worry, but you get over here.
Mia, do you
What are
see
you getting on the camera
They
for?
have no idea, Mia, how you do this.
I need my whoopee blanket. Just stand right there. And I'm gonna make a drink. I'm gonna make a drink in your name. So if you have a business, if you have whatever, like Vinny's Cucharitos, and he makes cucharitos. That's whatever. We're gonna make a drink using Gubba that's going to style his restaurant. This is a new thing. So where's that cup? Hold that cup up. Where's that cup? All right. First
How many
thing
guys
first.
does it take to make a drink, Mia?
It takes 15 people.
Mia's got her hand on her head going, oh, guys, really? Mia, come sit with me.
Put some ice in there. The ice, you see, this is backwards. We're doing it all backwards. You do it the right way. I do it the other way. Now I'm gonna show you. It's not gonna splash. Look at that. Look at that. Look
now
at
it's gonna
my
splash.
assistant is non-splashable. This man, you're pretty good at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say. Then we come over and we use a little bit of this.
And what is that?
None of your business.
Oh, that's that little thing that had a little.
This is a little line just, ooh, and that's enough of that. A little bit of that. And then we come over here, and we have a little guava. I'm going to tell you something about guava. This is guava.
Agave.
Agave. Well, I'm Puerto Rican. What can you say? The way I pronounce is the way it goes. And we go a little bit here, and that takes care of that. Now,
Almost the
you're all
same
going to
thing.
wonder what we're going to finish this off.
That's what I'm wondering.
Don't you wonder? You know what they say? You see, anytime you do this as a bartender, they think you know what you're doing. You see the way I have my leg? Look at my leg. It's my, but it's about the whole. That's right. It's all about the confidence. And you gotta be able to open this.
Oh man.
And then you go like this. And you go like this.
We should have more segments like this.
I think what I want to do. What I want to do is
Guest
I want to
bartender.
have.
Next week, maybe we can. Maybe Amy will be our guest bartender. Although
I'm gonna
nothing
have
quite
guest
like that
bartenders.
Scarlet.
And this.
The Santori special.
This is the tonic with the mostess.
Wow.
Steve.
Yes.
You cannot go wrong with this rum. Taste that.
The-
Taste it.
I
Tell me
wish
what
I
you
could.
think.
I wish I could.
I can't go wrong with the rum because the rum is smooth, but everything that you put in it kind of it elevated the flavor because I do taste the lime juice and the agave. So you did a nice job on this mix.
You hold on to this.
I was pretty iffy, Steve. I was pretty iffy on that. That was
Well,
pretty
keep in
iffy.
mind, you know what you got to do is you got to put it into a shaker and shake it up.
You
That
gotta put it in a
actually
shaker.
brings
That's
the.
what you're missing.
Yeah, you really are, because it brings the flavors out. It really does bring. It really does bring the flavors out when it's shaken over ice like that and then poured. It does make a difference.
It's got like this little whiskey-ish smell to it. What'd you put in it?
Just taste it.
It smells a little like my mother's kitchen.
It's the vanilla that I don't like, but he makes me like it because.
You know what that tastes like? Mm-hmm. Tastes like Long Island iced tea.
There you go.
It tastes like a Long Island iced tea if you've ever had one.
You want it?
No, thank
I'm
you.
in
Yeah.
It's all yours.
There is nothing you can do wrong with Gubba.
Amy, come on over.
Thank
Amy,
you.
let's move
Thank
your
you.
computer so Amy can sit.
And it's funny because I was experimenting. It does taste like Long Island iced tea.
It tastes like a Long Island iced tea.
And I didn't know you had Coca-Cola over there. Would have put a splash of Coca-Cola.
Ah, okay. Maybe one day you'll be our guest bartender.
You should be. Oh my God.
She's right there. But Mia's finishing her summer semester, so Freddie was, I guess, bartender today. How'd that go?
This is delicious. My goodness gracious. This needs a little Coca-Cola.
You want to put a floater of some Coke in there? Steve, what's happening with Gubba Rum? I hear you've got some amazing news, some new liquor stores and restaurants that you're in now.
Yeah, we have a couple. Very happy with the tiki bar that we're now working with in central Massachusetts, called One-Eyed Jack's Tiki Bar. Very excited to have expanded into a liquor store, Michael's Liquor Store on Wyndham Road in Melbourne. We encourage everybody, as the bars reopen, to hit Sand on the Beach in Melbourne. Really great beach bar. If you're into beach bars, which I definitely am, Sand on the Beach is a great place. Also, there's a place right up the road in Cocoa Beach called Hunker Down Lounge, right next to Coconuts on the Beach on A1A going north. And I really have to mention there's a great restaurant, a couple of them in Cocoa Beach. One is called Coaster's Tap House. The other one is called Coaster's Pub. They have great food, great beer, and great Gubba rum. We have some great cocktails. In fact, we just restocked them about 2 weeks ago with our silver. They're great people. Make sure if you go there, tell the bartenders that Gubba rum sent you. They're great people. We love them a lot.
Fantastic.
And you know, the greatest news I got 2 days ago, and it was confirmed next door, that they are going to do phase 2 for the bars. They are actually going to, hopefully in 2 weeks, they're going to open them up again, where you get 100% on the outside. So you can have 100% on the outside if you wear the mask. They're still going to ask you to wear the mask. And on the inside, they're going to 50% again if you wear the mask. Now, the trick about this thing is that if you got to go to the bathroom, you got to wear the mask. If you go to the bar to get a drink, you got to wear your mask. If you play with the rules, we're going to be okay. Because I also heard good news this morning. They got 17 different versions of the vaccine coming. It's in its final stage. So, that being said, when the vaccine comes forward and everything begins to get back to normal, and we got to be careful with this, it's going to be Gubba Week. We're going to celebrate every day of the week with Gubba, because you know something, we've been through hell, and I think you got to take a week and say, good job, we're going to get it done, and the numbers are coming down, keep doing what you're doing.
And Labor Day, we're going to be having a Labor Day virtual party, and we've got a band coming in. We're going to talk to Bombshell, kind of do like an acoustic Labor Day, Gubba rum, kind of a little special going on. So we got a couple weeks to put that together.
Yeah, we're going to have a concert to raise money for somebody who is suffering for cancer. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that as well. I want to have Amy involved in this as well to do a segment on this thing. All of our friends, I want them to come forward because we want to help those that need the help. But the most exciting news on everything that's coming forward is that it's getting better. Okay, think about that. You know, we've been in the dark a long time and negative and everything else, and we try to have fun with what we're doing. It's getting better. We're doing the right thing. Just keep doing the right thing.
All right, Steve, stay with us. We're going to take a commercial break. Stay with us. Slick, you're going to take us out with Gubba Rum. When we come back, we're going to bring Brenda Warren over. Editor's desk, I got some exciting news for Amy, and Brenda's going to be joining us. She's going to share. I think she's your new biggest fan.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Slick, let's take us out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, am I?
Yep.
This segment has been brought to you by the one and only Gubba Rum, guys. Gubba Rum comes in silver and in gold. The silver is infused with coconut, and the gold is infused with vanilla. Both are wicked smooth, so if you don't like the bite, get Gubba Rum. And stay tuned for some more Brooklyn Cafe TV show.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Healing Moments Wellness Boutique specializes in integrating scientific and ancient therapies to relieve physical, emotional, and psychological distress. Through the power of touch, coaching, and meditation, clients experience pain relief, relaxation, healing, and detoxification. Contact Healing Moments Wellness Boutique at 561-931-2187 and experience Boca Raton's Healing Haven. Enjoy the benefits of an individualized treatment plan to help find your feelings of peace, complete balance, and wellness. Call Healing Moments today, 561-931-2187, and be rejuvenated.
Amy Minty combines the hilarity of For Better or Money, the eroticism of For Love or Sanity, the mystique of For Sink or Swim, and the suspense of For Sex or Revenge, making her fifth novel, For Strip or Gamble, her best to date. Get your copy at amyminty.com or amazon.com. Get yours now.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Oh my gosh. You know, you're a couple ahead of me is all I can, you can tell. Welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe on a fabulous Friday. We've sort of changed the sets. We got the guys in the kitchen back there. Yes, that would be our kitchen. We've got Gubba Rum on one side, more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches going on. Last week we delivered 55 to St. Gregory's Episcopal Church to feed those in need. So we'll see how many they're going to get cooking today. Literally, that is my idea of cooking. You know, this week. Well, you and Amy had a whole lot of fun doing it. Amy, I didn't know they were making it. I did not bring the special knives. So they are working on this with
spoons.
Yes, it's not working out.
It's not working out.
That's
so
even
they're
harder.
Quick, though. They're quick though. I can
And you guys,
admit
maybe
that.
we can just make some jelly ones and put those to the side. So people that have peanut allergies. You and I have been eating peanut butter and jelly all week. Some on some saltines, just a spoonful, so like a really good protein-filled breakfast.
Excuse me, I didn't get any peanut butter and jelly all week.
We had it on crackers one day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The floor enjoyed it for the past 2 days.
I forgot I was looking for the bread.
Ever get jelly on the floor? It is impossible to clean up that stickiness, and so that your feet stick to it.
You know what I'm reading?
What are you reading, Freddie?
Chapter 4
of
a new book.
Which
Does this
is-
have a name yet?
Working title is Do Nothing, Live Longer.
by Amy Minty. I love it. We've got Brenda Warren also joining us at the editor's desk. Steve Gubb, I think, is hopefully still on the line, and there is everybody. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.
How you doing, Brenda? Can we turn her audio on? Is your audio on,
is your
Brenda?
audio on? We can't hear you, Brenda. Log out and log back in. Good show that Brenda did last week, her first show. Spectacular. And she's an author.
She's
and
an
she
author.
has a tremendous following.
The Solutionist.
And what is the surprise you have for Amy?
The surprise she has, we asked her what she thought of For Stripper Gamble. And she said to me, For Stripper Gamble, she goes, I bought them all. She said, I love all of them. Are you back?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect.
So Brenda told us, tell her that she says, I have got bad news for you.
Yeah, I was told to read this book, and I'm thinking, okay, she said Amy Minty, but it didn't register. And I will tell you, when I saw the first commercial, when I was watching the cafe, I thought, ooh, I want to read that. So when I went and saw you had other ones, I'm really into series. So I wanted to start from the beginning and work my way forward. So you were on my reading schedule list for this Saturday to start reading your series. But since I knew we were going to talk about this today, I said I will continue with my planned schedule, but I will start your book yesterday. In Kindle, it says here that there are 6,888 pages.
Wow.
On here. Well, I'm at 4,789. I could not put it down. It was like amazing. I'm very upset with you because I had homework.
I gotta ask. Why? Tell me what you like about the book.
Which one? Well, let's ask, which one are you reading?
I am reading For Stripper Gamble.
Okay.
And let me tell you, I started this book at 9:30 last night. And I stayed up reading it. And I was just reading it before we started. So at the bottom, oh yes, well, I'm at 4,920 of 688. Let me tell you, I'm an avid reader. I love this genre. The characters are fully fleshed out. The storyline works for me because I love Vegas. I love New York. I've traveled all over the world. They do interesting things. Pamela Castle, that's my avatar. Love her. I love the way she pops in and out, even here. I can't wait. I'm like, okay, this got to be over so I can finish this.
Now, I am reading, she's bringing me chapters of the new book. And I read it.
Oh, is another one coming?
Yeah, I read it every Friday. I'm going to tell you, she gave me the chapters. This is 4 and 5. And I read it on the set. So if you're looking at me looking down, it's because I'm reading the pages as we're going along. And I'm going to tell you, not for nothing, but your writing gets different. It gets to a different degree of what you're talking. You're more explicit in this book than any other book that I've read from before.
But she's doing that as she goes.
Yes.
If you see her very first book, because I did skim through that one, but I read like the first 4 chapters of that one, and then I said, let me put this, I need to read the one I got to talk about tomorrow. But you can see where you build, how you grew. I am just like fascinated, can't wait to read the rest of them. And let me tell you, I don't smoke, but after a couple of them things, I needed a cigarette, girl. I was like, woo! Jesus.
She must be on book 2.
She's on book 4. She's reading For Stripper Gamble. Amy, what do you think?
I was just like, man, love her.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great endorsement. I'm glad you're enjoying them. It always makes me very happy to hear that. And what do you think about the Lucy character in For Stripper Gamble?
I love Lucy. I'm telling you, she's smart. That was the other thing too. All the women, even though they're messy, they're very empowered. I like that. I like the way that even in their mess, they're strong. They're not shrinking violets at all, which was very impressive. I like that they are fully fleshed out in their sexuality, that they have an experimental side. I also like that it was very grown up. It wasn't fake. Because a lot of times when you read books in this genre, everything's all foo-foo, fluffy. I'm like, no, this is real. This is raw. It's relatable. And I was just like, okay, I'm liking this.
Oh, that's great. I like to keep my writing sort of uncensored in that way.
I will
Real.
also say the part for me too was having been familiar with a lot of the places that you saw. I could see myself there. So I saw myself walking down the corridors of the Stardust, kind of like different things. Because we used to hotel hop. Back in the day when I was in the Marine Corps, they gave us free access to most of the hotels. And because we were military, especially during Desert Storm and different things, they gave us like penthouse access. So we threw a lot of good parties. So that was like going down memory lane. And then to hear about the Hakuza, just the different, you weave so much into these stories. And I'm a visual person. There was a time when they were at a restaurant scene, I started coughing because of the smoke. If Nick lit up one more cigarette, I was going to slap him tasteless, okay? It was good. And Lucy, when she went Lucy to Devin, and let me sure I got the characters right, because there's so many running around in my head right now. Oh, I love Lydia. Oh my, that weaving that in there, and Carl, I'm like, come on now. Come on, you did that.
Yes, she could be like a future prequel down the road. I kind of weaved her in a little bit
like
just to
whole,
give her.
You left that hanging where you left it open to bring in another story, and that's the part I like where all the stories are weaving. They connect cleanly because I always wait. I take notes when I read. I'm looking for the disconnect, and
cool.
There was no disconnect, and I was waiting for it. Because usually, people will dangle something. I'm like, so you missed the opportunity. You did not miss any opportunity to bring each character into the other person's story, and I loved it.
Hey, Brenda.
Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
Brenda, I'm going to read something. It says, first of all, I'm going to read something to you in the new book. First of all, sit down and make a list of people you would do a week in jail for. Real jail, as in federal prison, not the sweet deal in Malibu. You will find that your list of friends has been narrowed considerably. Then think of the people that are on that list who would do a week in jail for you. And I'm reading this thing, and you know something? It's really funny, because if you think about what you're writing here, it hits everybody. Think about friends. What the definition of friends really means. You ain't got a lot of friends. You can put them on a hand. And I'm reading this thing, and I'm sitting here, and I'm having my gubba. Steve, I'm having my gubba as I'm reading it. Because I'm going to tell you something.
Ready to walk and party.
You got to have a little gubba to do this, because this is the stuff. You take this stuff to the beach, and you sit down, and you look at your life. And you look at the things you've been with. Because I'm going to tell you, friends are friends. You put them on a hand, and those are friends. There's a lot of acquaintances in your life. And your book just brings, like she was saying, it just brings reality to the front for you.
Yeah, but this one
This is good stuff.
is nonfiction.
This is
what you're reading. So she's
this is
Amy
scary
writes
stuff
both.
here.
Yeah, so this is nonfiction, like Freddie said. So you're gonna see. Well, I mean, you're gonna see little segments of myself in everything that's written. So
I would get with the other part too, because I think a lot of times people forget that when people write, you can have a great imagination, but some of this stuff, I'm like, you have lived an interesting life, and I said, oh, I would love to talk to her, because there's a lot of things that happen in this story that I'm going, oh, that's some firsthand knowledge right there. But okay, I'm for it, and I really enjoyed. It's like wanting to love to hate Nick. It's like going, you know what, boy. But and then some of the things that happen that you're trying to anticipate what's going to happen, but you throw that curve, and it was really cool. And I was just like, well, I like this story. I can't wait to see how it all ends out.
well, that's great. I'm so excited. Thank you very much.
So you're going to finish for Stripper Gamble, and then tomorrow, which is reading day, you're reading. Where are you going to?
I'm going to start from the beginning and work my way forward because it's a series. And I think it's important to get everybody's backstory to see how they landed where they are now, because I skim through and I see her character, Pamela, and how she weaves into all the stories. Seems like she's everywhere. So I want to know how she got to where she is. And then the other part too, the interesting thing is, as you skim through each of the books and you see the different situations that that Amy put people in, it's relatable. You know, being married, having that double life. You know, anybody that's been a former side chick can relate to pretty much all of the stuff going on in this. And unfortunately, that's been, you know, I was an accidental side chick, an intentional side chick, and a, what do you call it, on purpose side chick. And it's all in that book.
Can I have your phone number?
Can you do what now?
Yes. Can I have your phone number?
Oh, that life is behind me now. But let me tell you, she was telling some of my story in these books, and I was like, woo! That's a fly on the wall right there. That's a fly on the wall.
Brenda, one more thing I'd like to tell you, like when you do go back and start from the beginning, the way I've written Pamela Castle, she actually, her beginning starts in book 3 because she's 18 in book 3. You might have skimmed through part of that. And then she continues again when she first moves to Manhattan is in book 4. So just so you know, so chronologically, like everything else, I don't do anything in order. You know,
I already figured that out, and I'm cool with it. I like that, because the whole point of it is, even though we live our lives a certain way, the reality is when we're flashbacking or thinking about, we don't live in that order. So we can bounce all over, and I'm cool with the bounce. That was one of the things that made your writing interesting to me, because a lot of times when people do story series, they'll start, oh, she started here, she's 16, she's a virgin, she got raped, she got attacked, and then you just go, I'm like, that's so, everybody does that. Yeah. You have bounced in and out of life and time, and I love it. I like the way
you ain't see in and out until you read this stuff. This is nuts.
Well, truth is often more fascinating than fiction, so I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
Brenda, are you in any book clubs? Because I know when you get on your live feeds every morning, you've got people everywhere. Do you have book clubs that you work with?
I don't have any book clubs that I currently work with, but I have books that I like, and I was thinking about starting my own.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That'd be great.
That's smart. That's a
Maybe we can
idea.
add that to your editor's desk. Maybe that can be a segment, like your first 5 minutes is the book of the week that you're reading.
I'm in.
Forget book of the week. Brenda's got the book of the day, apparently. So we might have to do this more often. Brenda's book of the day tips. You know how Oprah has her Oprah's book club? We should do like Brenda's book club and create something around the editor's desk.
I'm in.
You know, that would be fun.
That'd be great.
Now, I want to ask Amy. Amy, where did you go to high school?
I went to high school in New Jersey.
Where?
In Hunterdon County, there was a school called North Hunterdon.
And you were there 4 years?
I was, believe it or not. Not all the time. Here and there. Yeah.
You went to school sometime?
Yeah, when I felt like it.
I got to tell you, this new one coming out, you got to read this stuff. This is unbelievable. How you give advice about high schoolers and everything else that's in here. You know, the unique thing is that we all have a path. Everybody has lived a life, okay? Brenda's lived a life. Even Steve has had a life before. But the unique thing is how you describe your story.
Thanks, Freddie. Thank you very much, Freddie.
You didn't grow up with Gubba. You had a life before, right?
Yes, I always tell people that the reason I'm doing this now is I have a lifetime of failure behind me, and this is my last shot.
I'm going to tell you something. You got a product that it's unlike anything I've ever had in my life, and I've done a lot of rum.
That's all empty?
Why are you looking at my cup?
Well, I always looking at your cup.
Don't be looking at my. Don't be looking at my cup. I have to tell you, if you sit on the beach, I'm gonna give you the weekend. You sit on the beach. A hurricane is coming out Friday. On Monday, we're gonna have some winds. You sit on the beach and you look at the ocean and you take her book, and this is what I did last week, and you read it. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to bring up a whole lot of memories because the ocean will always talk about your past. If you listen, you will always talk about your past. And this thing, I don't know when you're going to publish this bad boy, but this is a whole different take on anything that I've read in that whole thing right next to you because they're right behind you. This is different. This is a whole lot.
And that's good, different.
Yeah.
You can see the growth in her writing as you went through the different books. Because I just did little snippets just to kind of get a feel for her writing style. And I was just like blown away because I that's reading with female erotica and the more provocative books. That's kind of like my little guilty pleasure. And so whenever it's just about, for me, just to escape. And there's nothing worse than a story that makes you start it, you're getting into it, and then it just drops off to nowhere and you're not interested anymore. And when I tell you that if my child was to come here right now, he'd tell you at 9 o'clock, Mom, is lights out. I don't care what's going on. The world ends. I'm done. It didn't happen last night because this book was so riveting. It pushed me past my normal bedtime. And it was like 12 o'clock. I was like, I have to go to sleep. I got up extra early. I was reading your book while I was walking this morning.
Wow.
And then I kept reading, and I decided whatever, all the homework, all the stuff on my schedule got stopped. I just did not stop until we connected because it was that riveting. I enjoyed it. And I'm curious, what got you into writing in the first place?
I was an artist in other capacities, and nothing was rewarding for me, even though I was trying different, avenues. And then I started writing about how annoyed I was about everything I was trying and not succeeding at. So it kind of channeled into, when you're mad at somebody and you write a letter because you know you might regret what you say. So, I do this. And my husband, for instance, he has tons of letters and letters I write, how angry I am at him. Right? Okay. So this is like common. And then, then I'll wait a day. I'll look at it and be like, oh, I'll slash half of it. So it's sort of, so that kind of venting sort of put me in a position where, hey, some of this isn't that bad. If someone else were to read it, what would they think? So I don't know. It was sort of like, it was cathartic in the beginning for me because it just kind of made me see that even though I didn't have an English background or, school was never my forte at all. I hated it. That this could be possible. And then I started doing some freelance writing, some not short stories, but sort of, paid blogs before there were blogs and showing some friends and seeing if they thought it was funny, or it was mostly for a humor value. And then my first husband pointed out the fact that my acting career was in the toilet and I wasn't getting anywhere. And I was like, maybe I'll take this and I'll do something with it. So I started to work on what was then called the Zen of Doing Nothing, what Freddie is reading now. And in like a, not a term as a book. I didn't think it would be a book, but I was just sick and tired. I was living in Manhattan. I was working as a bartender for the year after year, and nothing was really working. So I started writing down and taking notes on why do we have to work so hard? Why do we have to do this? This is, I didn't bargain for all this. This is not how it's supposed to be. So that was kind of like the genesis of, Do Nothing, Live Longer, which is what I hope, to be putting out shortly. So that's what got me into it. Realizing that maybe I could make a book or formulate a book.
Well, I want to ask you, did you struggle with how people will react to your sex scenes at all, or was it just something that you just felt you needed to put in there? Did you ever want to tone them down or feel like you need to ramp them up?
That was more like, I don't know really, and half the time I don't know what drives me to do certain things. In For Love or Sanity, that just came, it was almost like I was channeling. I don't even know where that was coming from, but I would go to the same pizza place like 3-4 afternoons a week. I would sit there with like, I drink like 3 Cokes, eat 2 pieces of pizza. This is what I did. And all
Okay.
this material just came out. And I was like, you know what? I'm keeping it. I never,
Okay.
I don't know. I can't really explain where that came from, honestly. And I'm not doing that as much now. So it must have just been something in my head that told me to. I don't know.
I asked that question.
I wanted to ask her, you know, there's a difference between you didn't plan for all this to happen, right? Now you have the written word, and there are people reading your thoughts, whether it's this book or that book or that book. There are people reading what you are thinking. So the game has changed. You're no longer in that pizza parlor having that Coke and that slice. It's not there anymore. Now people are beginning to read your thoughts, and they're putting together their ideologies, their philosophy, their back stuff that happened to them in the past. Steve has Gubba Rum. That's a company. He puts a bottle up and says, listen, here are 2 bottles, and boom, try this in 100 different ways, and you're going to love it. Your book comes forward, and this is you. This ain't Gubba Rum. This is you that people are reading. I mean, I'm reading here, and I'm saying, wow, this is a whole different person. How does it make you feel that word written is word you in people's minds?
I'm happy with that. I like the fact that I'm getting my point across finally, you know, so it's satisfying. It does bring me some sense of accomplishment. So yeah, it feels good, Freddie.
And I'm going to tell you, that's a tough act to follow, because I always wanted to write a book. And Brenda, you've written books, yes?
I have them. They're all in my computer right now.
But you've never
I have not
published them,
released
right?
them. Not published them yet.
And here you have somebody who's published 5, is going to publish a 6. The funny thing is, we all want to do. You know, Gubba, Steve, he put that product out. You know how brave you have to be, not only to carry the product, not only to carry the book, but to do it in the worst history of our country, of the world, right now, and say, you know something, here's a way out to what you're doing. Here's a thing you can do to make your life a little better. And that's what I like about your book, because this ain't easy times. These are hard times. And when you start reading this book, you're going to find out the truth of Amy. This is you.
Well, look, Brenda was up until midnight reading last night, and I was told, actually, you had posted something about a book, an author who's in England. And I saw your book, and I said, I got to interview this lady. So one of our producers reached out. We interviewed her from England on a morning show. And her book had been out since 2016, I think it was, back when The Secret was big, maybe even before that. She was bestseller next to The Secret. We were her first U.S. interview after all of these years. And that was because, I got the chills. That was because of you. That was because you put it out there, and I saw it, and people believe and they relate to what Brenda says. So I thought, I got to interview this woman. So here she came, and how would I have ever thought we were her first U.S. interview? Never did I think about that. And she posted it. So I am so excited that you are reading Amy's series, because your reach, Brenda, is tremendous.
That's surprising to me, but I tell you, the thing that, for me, outside of that, the book is just fantastic that Amy wrote. It gives me wings for what I write, because there's always that you have that self-doubt that, do you really want to put yourself out there like that? Is that acceptable? And as I was reading Amy's stories, I was like, I could do this. And I could see myself doing this. But the main thing was, I didn't care about what I was doing. What Amy's doing is like, this is it, and this is going to be my new obsession till I get all those books read.
Oh my gosh.
That's great. That's great. That's great. That's what I want people to feel when they read it, that, hey, how come I can do this too? Just like on the music videos on, I don't know if you checked out Facebook or Sunday nights when I dance around like a fool at 7 o'clock every Sunday religiously. You know, I just want other people to say, hey, what difference does it make? Who cares? You know, like.
I think you have to be confident in yourself too, to just, that you're a good writer. The stories are full. They're rich. And I just really, I think there's going to be a lot of people that once they get exposed to your writing, it's going to be amazing because the stories are really good.
Well, there's a
The
sense
stories
of
are good.
confidence that
Thank
you
you.
get when you read your material, you know, and then you meet people like Steve, and you say, you got to do what you got to do. You got to put out there what you got to put out there, and whether it's written word, whether it's product, this ain't easy. It's not supposed to be easy, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. What separates us from everybody else is that we're still putting it out there. We're still talking to people and saying, you can do this too.
Brenda, I want to ask you a question. What was your one lean-in moment for you in this book that said, I am riveted, she's captured and captivated my interest? What is that lean-in moment for you?
I think it was just Jack, the character Jackie talking about her sister, and there was this part when the story started to connect, and I was like going, okay, I got to read this. No, that's not true. It was the prologue. The author's prologue is what got me. That's it, yeah. There was that first part where you're talking about why you're writing the book and stuff like that. And then I thought, I want to read this book. And then the story itself got me hooked when I realized the connection between Jackie and Scarlett.
Scarlett again.
Okay, great. Great to know.
Amazing.
Yeah, and Lydia is the one I want to eventually, embark on her whole life prior.
Amy, have you ever thought about
Yeah, when she showed up in the book too, that was like my ears perked up. It's like, who's Lydia? And you're trying to connect the dots, and then I got further up in the book, and I go, oh, okay. And I'm like, she's popping in and out just a little bit. I'm like, there's gonna be, and I kept thinking there's gonna be another book all about her.
That's what I have in mind eventually, yes.
That was really cool.
Have you ever thought of helping people publish their own books?
No.
Because that would so not be nothing, I know. But
it wouldn't be nothing,
it
no.
could be an inspirational piece to help other, I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you have a
something I'd have to
specific
think
target
about.
market?
Sorry,
Did you have a
what, Brenda?
specific target market when you wrote this?
No.
When you began writing,
I
or
figured anyone who wanted to read it could read it. Any age, any person, whatever you may do for a living, whatever. Anyone who could find humor and find, I guess I did want to make it relatable for that reason. That hopefully whatever age, whatever, race, distinction, sex you are, that you could find something in it that you could take away from. That was my.
Now,
that was
could you
my hope.
correct me if I'm wrong? I heard something you said, and I'm just wondering. When I mentioned about the sex scenes and everything like that, you said you're not writing like that anymore?
Oh, I might again. I just don't know.
Yeah, there's a couple of sex scenes in there.
Yeah.
I'm only asking because was that an attempt to get a larger market?
No.
Or just it was a conscious decision in some way?
See, it wasn't even conscious. That's what I
Okay.
was trying to say. It kind of just it worked out that way, and especially in for Love or Sanity, simply because I had to really flush out the Tony character, and the Tony character was a sex addict. So it kind of and if he wasn't a sex addict, it might have been a lot of gratuitous sex, but it really, really has a purpose.
Okay.
So yeah.
And you talked about on your film about going to a haunted place, a scary place.
This is my video, Brenda. On
This
Sunday.
is the video.
Okay.
And I can't help but think, is this a psychological deal?
Do you know where she went?
No, I know.
I went to the Palm Beach County DMV, the one that they shut down, that little shack on.
Okay.
And that's a haunted place. But is
Haunted.
this like because in my world, haunted places are places of fear, or places you go you don't want to go. So haunted, was this a play on words?
Well, no, I mean, you're exactly right. What makes something haunted to somebody could be a completely different place to somebody else. So whatever creates that energy, that negative energy, that fear, is exactly right. It's haunted.
And even though everybody around you may think it's a great place,
Absolutely. It's what you
I
feel.
gotta tell you, you hit a nerve when I saw you doing this to the last place we were at. Yeah. And I used to tell you, I don't like it here no more. I used to tell you this.
It's what you feel. You get an energy,
That's
you
what
get
you
a
feel.
vibration.
And everybody loved this place. And I
Oh.
said, this ain't home.
Yeah, this isn't. I am the first one to point out if something's not good.
You see, but that's what makes your writing so different. Everybody gets a different. If you get to read between the lines, everybody gets something different. And when you were doing that video, I sat back and said, man, and it brought back, I'm talking about 2 years, right? You know what I'm talking about. 2 years of my life where I was in a haunted house and everybody loved it. And that's
I
what
totally
makes
understand
the book
that.
that you write so different. That's
This Sunday, I'm taking you to another haunted place in the afternoon, where I will also need my bodyguard again. Okay, so Brenda, we have to be friends on Facebook so you can view these.
Okay.
Actually, you can just view them. The public views them all the time, and they're not even friends with me, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, we're gonna go to the plant, Ron. Yeah, I'm dragging him to FPL.
To the plant.
Now that's something I would not do with y'all because I feel things. So going to a haunted places, I'm not trying to bring nothing back.
Well, it might not be haunted to you though. It might just be haunted to me and Freddie.
Yeah,
So-
haunted places can be places you've had in your past
Yeah.
that you didn't want to
Yeah,
be there.
true.
Exactly. It
It
True.
But
just
yes.
changes the play on words, yeah.
But I'm very sensitive to energy as well, Brenda. So I
Yeah.
understand. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when we moved into this house here, I love the house, but I remember when I first walked in, I was like, this house needs to be cleared
Uh-huh. I get
because
that.
there's something not quite right here.
And that is what happened.
And I also, when I do it, I mean, it's a little bit tongue in cheek too. It's not completely, serious by any means. It is what it is. You'd have to check one out.
But you know what, though, y'all, I have to tell you, I thank y'all for even considering me to have this conversation with y'all because, like I said, when I saw the commercial itself, it intrigued me. And I started telling my friends, y'all need to go check out this book because I saw this commercial, the ones that I know that read stuff like I do. Although I will tell you, there are a lot of women that read those books that just don't want to admit it. So you just put it out there, then they can decide to read it on the down low. I don't want to out nobody, but if you want a guilty pleasure, this is the book to read.
Guilty pleasure.
And if
You're
you,
awesome.
if you're gonna have a little drink, get you some Gubba Gold. If you don't
Now,
drink,
Brenda, I'm going to tell you something. Steve, and you'll back me up on this. We have our own demons. We wonder whether or not Gubba's going to make it. You wonder whether or not you can get it published out there. You got to wonder whether or not you get that rum out during the worst time in our history of our country. There's a whole lot of stuff on the man's side. Not the woman empowerment side, but the man's side. And I think that guys, and I make fun because I know that you do that woman empowerment thing.
Yeah, I do that
But I'm going to tell you something. Guys, sometimes we need to be tapped on the back once in a while too, because we take a lot of heat. Number one, we do it all wrong. Number two, we ain't learned from our mistakes. And number three, we got to take some chances too to make things work, Steve. And I can relate to how hard Steve works on promoting Gubba Rum. He's everywhere. He talks to everybody. Yes.
Yes, indeed. That's the only way to get it out there when you don't have $100 million in the bank.
You guys are
well,
awesome.
Steve, let me tell you, I don't even drink, but I've been telling everybody about Gubba Gold because I've seen
Well,
on the commercial so much.
It's
And
the
every time I
best.
say,
Well-
I've been asking people, do you drink? I say, have you tried Gubba Gold? And they're like, no. I said, well, try it and tell me how you like it. So I
Thank
think
you.
it's important that we do that because especially now with the pandemic, we got to get the word out about all the stuff that we're passionate about. And the one thing I know about Brooklyn Cafe TV show, y'all are passionate about Gubba Gold. So I'm like, we need to have people testing this.
Thank you, Brenda. I really appreciate it. God bless you. God bless
Brenda,
you for
are
that.
awesome.
Really.
We're going to take a commercial break. Brenda, I know you've got the editor's desk coming up at 2:30. I'm going to let you get ready for that because we got to get you back in on set in a half
All right.
hour. Who are you interviewing?
I am interviewing the director of the New England Veterans Chamber of Commerce, Miss Lisa Deschamps.
Very nice.
Fantastic. It's going to be a great show. So tune in at 2:30 on Amp Media Productions for that.
We're talking about
Brenda,
veterans resources.
you have at the end of the weekend. We're going to have you come back in.
Okay.
Or next Friday, and you're going to have to do your next summary of what you've read with Amy Minty.
Okay.
So we kind of got to get the next part, the end of Super
Okay.
Gamble, and then the next one's going forward.
Okay.
But we'll talk a little bit later. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. Brenda, thank you so much. Brenda
Thank
Lawrence,
you.
tuned
And
into the
thank you,
Editor's
Amy,
Desk.
for making me have an absolute wonderful evening because it's been very enjoyable.
Oh, thank you, Brenda. You made my day. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Amy Minty combines the hilarity of For Better or Money, the eroticism of For Love or Sanity, the mystique of For Sink or Swim, and the suspense of For Sex or Revenge, making her fifth novel, For Strip or Gamble, her best to date. Get your copy at amyminty.com or amazon.com. Get yours now.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Yeah.
Happy Friday to you. Boo boo.
Boo boo.
What are you, like Yogi Bear?
It's been a long week.
I have to tell you, I've never seen Freddie so engaged in reading, ever. In 5 years, even in writing proposals, everything that's written and typed out, it's, Dawn, I need this. Val, I need this. Can you do this? I send him everything. He goes, perfect.
You make me sound helpless.
Now, I send him things that I know aren't perfect because they're just proofs, and they may not even have the right person's name in it. He says, perfect, which I know clearly is wrong. He has not put this book down. For 2 weeks, you keep sending chapters. He has not put this book down, so I'm telling you.
You know, I'm going to tell you, she writes a lot of things in here about you.
She has engaged you.
It's about you. It's about the crazy you.
She has engaged you in this book that hasn't even been published.
I think this is your best work. I really do. I think this is. No, it's more than that. There's a whole lot of you in this.
Amy, pick up your mic.
No, Amy, you got to talk into your mic. Amy, it can be a movie. It can be 3 movies.
bad.
There's so many things you can do with this. But this is like psychology 101.
I write about psychology in chapter 5 there.
I'm reading it.
Okay, good. Yes.
It's amazing. Slick has a new tagline for you, though, Amy.
Which is?
Oh, not for that book, but
For
for
Stripper Gamble.
the series
Yep.
and the Stripper Gamble. Sell the fantasy for Stripper for Gamble, because we were talking about a lot of OnlyFans pages this morning on the Zoo, and being that it is set in Vegas, not saying it's set in a strip club, but sell the fantasy.
It sells the fantasy.
And for Stripper for Gamble,
True
sell
that.
the fantasy.
That's a good point.
Cool.
Now, do you know about fan? Do you know what he's talking about? Fan? What is it, fan only?
No.
OnlyFans used to be for artists to display exclusive behind the scenes on art, but basically since this pandemic's been happening, it's been a lot of explicit stuff from XXX rated, basically nudity on OnlyFans. But OnlyFans was supposed to be, I would say, for artists until it became XXX. But I'm saying sell the fantasy is because, in a strip club, if any guy's been in here, Vinny, Freddie, you can vouch for me. In a strip club, a lot of, the girls sell the fantasy that you want.
Yes.
Really?
Twice.
I think Freddie's been in a lot more than me, but I think he's been in the first
I used
one.
to own one.
I'm not surprised.
No. I used to, in Pelham Bay, I used to be a part owner.
But yeah. I feel like in a strip club, if you do fall in love in there and you're a guy, clearly you fell for the fantasy. So
that you love the fantasy, not the
Clearly,
that's true. That.
So, do you have a favorite of Amy's books? I know you've read quite a few of them.
It has to be the first one, because the entanglement in the first one between Mr. Hennessy and the fact that she should have she should have just waited. She should have just waited out and then found the person that actually was compatible to her instead of feeling the peer pressure of her friends.
I gotta tell you, Amy, some people dare
I'm
even
shocked.
dream to write 1 book, let alone 5, and here's 6.
I'm shocked that Slick is so into books. I never thought
Maybe
that in
not.
a million
Maybe
years.
he's into Amy's books.
They're spicy books. That's why. Entanglement books.
They're entanglement.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you have to have a little drama with the sex appeal.
Well, how do you feel about people looking at you in different lights now?
I don't know. They probably always looked at me in different lights.
Different?
Probably.
Really?
Why wouldn't
so
they?
you used to it? Oh, because now it's in print.
Oh, well, the way I, relate to people is pretty much the same way as I write.
Third person, yes. This different, yes. So I scream if nobody hears me. So I scream if people hear me. There's 2 different worlds here. He's reading your book, and he has a whole concept going on in your thoughts. These are your thoughts, his life. I mean, think about the irony in this thing. You are actually, you're putting words in his brain. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's very cool. Now that if you phrase it that way, it's a lot more exciting.
Uh-oh, Slick.
Yeah.
He loves your books, though. He
Well,
talks about them
I like
at
how
our morning show. He talks about it all the time. He came up with that tagline this morning for your book.
Cute.
He loves your books. And what I love so much about him is they cross generations, because we've got millennials, we've got even younger in their early 20s, mid-20s. Anyone of any age can be reading this book. So it's not just for people my age and up, anyone. Anyone who wants to read. So when Brenda asks, what's your demographic?
That's why. Yeah.
You're right. And no one ever says, because that's like the worst branding thing a brander would ever tell you. You can't target everyone. But your book clearly targets everyone from that 20-ish, not teens, 20-ish up.
How does that make you feel?
Great. It makes me feel great.
Is this what you set out to do?
I honestly, when I first started, I just set out to do something. You know, Dawn, you keep saying that, you know, it's such an accomplishment. You've written 5 books, but that's all I've done. So,
That's a lot, though.
I know, but I mean,
People
it's
can't
not
even
like,
write one book.
well, I suppose, but I mean, I haven't cured cancer. I mean, there's people that are out there on the front lines that, you know, risking their lives. I'm just trying to add a little enjoyment into
But if
people's
you could
lives.
inspire one person who can't even make it out of bed one day because she is so, it makes me tear, she is so down on herself or feels she can't keep going. And if she opens up that book, your book, and you actually get her engaged in reading for an hour or a page or 2 to get her motivated to believe in something, to have fun, to get out of why she can't get out of bed that day, you're now on the front lines of saving this one person's life.
Well, that's a nice way of looking at it. I hope I do achieve that. So,
But
Okay, so
I guarantee
hold on. Let's flip the script.
Yeah.
Catcher in the Rye, which was in every high school. True?
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
And they did away with it. Dark book. It opened up with the train track scenery of suicide, right? Dark book. Okay, they did away with it in high school. You know this? They did away with it because it was so dark. Words are very powerful. So when you write something and it touches people's souls, they come up and say, you know something? I'm going to keep reading this thing because I want to see where she goes. So it isn't just writing a book anymore. How do you feel about being an author? Not a person, but an author.
I feel great about being an author. I'm just happy that I can reach people in any capacity. So yeah.
But that's really big because when people read, like I'm reading now, that's third person. These are you. They're going to say, you know something? I can relate. And the whole game begins to change because other people now are saying, this happened to me. I went down this path. It's like Slick talking about the different wants today. Well, we're talking about desire, talking about things that we keep hitting. And when you read your book, all these things become to surface at the surface. That's a whole lot of power. That's a lot of strength you carry. How does it make you feel?
Pretty good, Freddie. Pretty good.
I mean, that's what
Thank
it's
you.
really. I mean, that's what an author does. You sculpt your lives. That's why books are put in college. That's why certain books are not allowed in schools. You know, Catcher in the Rye, when I read the whole book in 24 hours. I read it from 6 o'clock in the morning all the way across. And the teacher was, well, let's talk about the book. I could tell you everything about that book because it touched me. The suicide, the darkness of it. In your stuff, I'm reading here things to talk about things that I went through in my life with other people. And the truth of what you're writing, that's the most significant thing. When people talk about the different aspects of life and you sort of paint it true, you can't hide that no more. It's there. It's the real deal. And I just wonder, how does it make you feel when you write these things? Does it liberate you? Does it make you feel free?
I just love I love what you're reading now. I loved writing that because it's almost like I'm just speaking to a friend, essentially. But I laugh to myself because I'm like, even I would laugh at this, you know, like, okay. There's somewhere in that book that I've just redone a chapter. I write that, you know, I was talking about ghosts in some capacity, and I'm saying, well, you know, I might be seeing ghosts, and why wouldn't I be? Because a ghost would want to be friends with me because they would think I was funny. So, like, you know what I mean? But like, I laughed at that, and it's funny to maybe one person or another, and some of my stuff is quirky and not funny to anybody. But then other stuff I think is. But is that just me? I don't know. But I'm willing to risk it. If you don't laugh, you don't laugh. Oh well. So. I don't know, sometimes my mom and I used to make ourselves laugh like over nothing. So I grew up that way, I guess.
You got to check out the books. You can go to Amazon.com, AmyMinty.com. You can get a regular hardcover book or download it immediately on Kindle and get all of them, just like Brenda did. And she starts at 5 and she's working her way back. Amy, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for inspiring so many people and to live your words, to read your words.
To live your words.
And Freddie
is
is
the right
living
way,
your
yeah.
words on this one.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm telling you, I'm gonna finish chapter 5.
Check it out, everyone. AmyMinty.com, Amazon.com. Put in Amy Minty. All the books pop up. Take a chance. Have some weekend reading because you know what? It might be a little bit wet here in South Florida.
Oh, you ain't lying.
And a lot of the United States is going to be a little bit wet.
A little bit.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Tune in at 2:30 to the editor's desk. We also have Florida Love Show coming to you at 3 o'clock on Florida Love page at 5 o'clock. We've got Momentum Mindset Show. And then you've got Out of This World at 6. So a lot going on still here at the Brooklyn Cafe at New Dawn Amp Media Studios. Have a great weekend. Be safe.
Thank you, Amy, for being on. Don't be late. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
Cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors.